Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors, your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. I'm glad to hear this Monday morning, getting ready to start a great week with the weather. It's going to really be nice weather. So we're going to take a look first on the high. It's going to be like a 78 by the end of the week, may even get into 80s in some areas. So it's just wonderful week of March. This third week of March has always been special to me. It's just anniversaries, birthdays, and first day of spring now is March the 20th. Today's March the 16th. So be aware of all of that. Of course, our weather brought to us by Haney Tactical Center at the corner of Baldwin and 77. Low tonight is going to be like 61, and our water temperature, you won't believe it or not, it has shot up to 64 over the weekend. It's just been really nice. I mean, it's just really shot up. So I'm calling this week going to be some Spanish. Probably a couple of them called yesterday I didn't know about, but I can promise you this week there'll be some Spanish mackerel caught somewhere here in our viewing area. So we've had our fogs and everything just falling into place. Okay, let's take a look at our moon phases. Every Monday we like to just sort of take a look at the week and all what's going on. This is March. March is 16th. We've got some new moon coming up on March the 20th and 21st, and it's going to be a lot of activity around that new moon. So even freshwater. So be prepared for that. It's going to be some really dark nights and really good weather. So our full moon will be on in April, but like I say, I have March the 20th always circled on my calendar because that's just a special day right there. So our marine forecast is going to be coming out of southeast and going to be swinging around to the west today. So we'll have those March winds, but it's not calling for high winds today. It's called 5-6 miles per hour. So go ahead and start making your plans on what you're going to do the weekend. And our tide chart, take a look at it. Brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn Funeral Home and Cemetery. We got strong tides today. We have a low tide at 12:27 and a high tide at 2:25. We've got a 1.6 foot range, and again now coinciding with the new moon. Not much activity going on, but a lot of stuff's going to be moving around in the water because it's going to be warming up. It's already 64 degrees, and that's a big deal right there. We hit 65, 66. It's going to really start busting loose. All right, let's take this break. We'll be right back with our special guest. Welcome back. Here with some special guests this morning. Of course, Captain Rick Corley, as always. Good to see you.
Good morning.
How you been?
I'm doing fine.
All right, I want you to introduce our distinguished other guest.
Well, this is my son, Kerry Jr.
Kerry?
Most people call me Rick, and they call him by the first name, Kerry. But he's one of the works at the property appraiser's office.
I know.
And,
a lot of you folks have probably seen him down there. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We're glad to have you. We're going to get back with Kerry in a minute, but let's cover some boating stuff right now because we've got
on the season. It's time to start. And right now, I would recommend people start thinking about waxing your boat, protect it against the sunlight with that UV protectant wax. Get a United States Coast Guard Auxiliary safe boating sticker. In other words, let them go through and check your equipment. That way you know your lights work, your horn works. It's time to check the oil in your foot, and make sure your oil's in. If you got a 4-cycle, you got plenty of oil and those things. Check your engines out. Get everything ready for the season because we're fixing to hit it hot and heavy here. You were talking about the water temperature a while ago. Mm-hmm. I was talking to one of my customers that was on one of the boats I was doing, and he had just come in from a trip. He said the water temperature is about 63. Mm-hmm. When it gets around 68, when it's going to be primo, and with this south wind, it ain't going to be too long. The Spanish are on the way.
That's true. That's an exciting time. And I have people ask me the other day if they have some gas left over from this past fall. What do you think now?
It's getting pretty old, but if you got some Stay-Built or something like that in it, it might be all right. But if you didn't put stabilizer in it, nah, not so much. Yeah. I think I'd get new. And the other thing I'll remind you, don't use ethanol gas in these outboard engines. It ruins them. Don't do it. You think you're saving money, but you're going to spend it with a mechanic.
Yeah, and I think a lot of folks now, a lot of boat owners have finally realized that. They've seen other people, and it was sort of a hard lesson for a lot of people to learn.
If you have something that sits for a while, like my little Miata, I don't drive it all the time. That's my toy. I don't ever put ethanol in it. I go to the station where I can get regular gas because it sits too long, and that will break down. It's too, that ethanol is. If you're using it every day and running through and getting rid of it, it's not quite so bad. But boy, I tell you what, that sitting, it'll ruin it. And you don't use the boat that much, so don't put it in there. That's the reason the mariners won't sell it.
Yeah, yeah. What about, you're talking about changing oil in the foot. How often do you do that? Or you say,
it depends on the manufacturer, but
okay.
The biggest thing is to check it to see that it's not got a seal leaking, so you're getting salt water in there, you get that milky look to it.
But they don't have to do it every year, do they?
No.
Yeah, I was going to say, if it's been
main thing is make sure you got plenty of it and it's in good shape. And from time to time to change it. Different manufacturers, different times.
Well, you also, if people, you're talking about waxing and all, they need to check the steering cable and those kind of things, a little just visual inspection.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of people be getting boats coming this coming weekend. There's going to be a lot of people.
Well, yeah, and go turn everything on the boat to see that it works. And of course, the Coast Guard Auxiliary, they're going to make you turn on your running lights, blow your horn. And most people forget to blow the horn, and then in this salt air, it'll sit there and it'll weld the reeds together, and you go down there and hit your horn. Instead of going beep, beep, it goes, and that's it. Now you got to go buy a new horn. I tell people, every time you go to the boat, blow the horn once, where it'll keep that clear and keep it in, the contacts clear. Little things like that make a big difference. I personally, when I had a boat with an outboard, I would go out there about every 10 days, 2 weeks, put the buffs on, crank it up, get it running, and then let it run for 10 or 15 minutes and then shut it down.
I strongly believe in that too.
No,
it just makes a lot of sense.
If you don't, you'll get a shellac on the low-speed jets and it won't crank. Yeah.
And then you get out there when you launch a boat at the boat launch, and all of a sudden everybody's waiting to launch, and you can't get yours started.
Yeah, and that's the other thing, when y'all go to the boat ramp, don't get your boat ready before off to the side, then back it down there. Don't back down there and take half a day doing that, and you got all these people standing there looking at you because you're being an idiot.
That's right. Okay, all those little things, we talk about these all the time, every year, especially in springtime, we'll talk about them, but we just remind you because we want you to get out and enjoy the water, not be aggravated when your boat don't run so well.
And be courteous to other people.
Yeah.
Especially about a boat ramp because they're busy. And if you plan ahead a little bit, you're in there and out in 2 or 3, 5 minutes, and everybody gets a shot at it.
Yeah, and everybody's out to have a good time, enjoy themselves with the family and the friends, so remember all those things right there. We're going to take our break and come back and talk a little bit with Carrie, see what's going on. All right, be right back. All right, welcome back now. So here with Captain Rick Corley, one of our great sponsors, always been loyal to us, and really appreciate you doing that, Rick, over the years.
Enjoy it.
And his son, Carrie.
Hey.
Glad you came on the show, buddy.
Thank you.
Well, tell the folks a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Kerry Corley. I work at the property appraisers. I've been there just over 6 years now, and I really enjoy it.
Oh, that's great. And people don't know now, you do some little stuff on the side, and your dad told me this a little while back, you were getting into bodybuilding and weightlifting and doing all kind of stuff, and I didn't realize how successful you were. You did good.
Thank you. I've won 5 trophies so far, and 4 of them are first place.
That's pretty good.
In my weight class.
Right.
He's in the bantamweight.
The bantamweight. Okay. Yeah. Well, y'all brought us some pictures. We're going to take a look at some of these pictures. So y'all talk about this. Judge me by my size.
That was my last trophy, and that was last May of 2014 at Gulf World.
Okay.
That was the last show that Shannon Day did here last year. She's pulled out and gone down to Orlando now. Now we have a new one. It's still gonna be in May, but it's put on by a different promoter. It's put on by a guy named Tim Gardner.
Okay, Tim Gardner. All right, let's go to this next picture here. And this is good. Carrie Corley, cerebral palsy, FSU graduate and property appraiser.
Again, that one was my last trophy, and that was, that was at the Shannon Day.
Okay. We're going to show these trophies in a little bit, but we just look at the pictures now. That's a good picture there. Here's the next one. You posing up right here.
This one was my very first trophy at the Shannon Day back in 2012.
All right, 2012.
This was at the Pensacola show in 2013. This is the only one that I got second place in, and if you can see, it was really close. I mean, we both look very much alike.
Yeah, I do. Yes.
He had a touch better abdominal section than I did, and that's why he won. And I'm glad for him because that was my second contest, and that was his very first.
Okay.
He was nervous. Kerry coached him a little bit.
Yeah, I did.
You know, it's okay to get second place.
Oh, yeah. I mean, in fact, he tried to give me his first place at backstage, and I told him, no, mine's Mama, I got more room. Don't worry about that. You keep yours. I'm happy with mine.
That's great. That's great. All right, let's talk about this next picture coming up here. Tell us about this one.
This one is, I believe, my third trophy, and that was again 2013 at the Shannon Day contest at Gulfport, and I won first place again in that.
Oh, good for you. Hanging out with those pretty girls. Now I like this one right here. This is Kerry Corley, the Riptide Classic bodybuilder. It said, Kerry does not allow cerebral palsy to stop him. What are you allowing to stop you? That's a great poster right there, buddy. Tell us about it.
This one was the very first Tim Gardner show that I did, and it was last year, and it was called, or is called, the Riptide Classic, and he started it last year, and he'll continue on. He's having it again this year, and that's gonna be my last show. I enjoy this, but the aches and pains are getting to me, and I'm not.
You're getting old.
I know what you mean by the aches and pains.
And I'm not Captain America, so I don't have a super serum in me that keeps me young, so.
Well, tell us, that's inspirational just to see what you've done.
He's now 43, and I can't believe that. That makes me old, too.
2.2.
42?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you'll be 43.
Trying to add it on.
It ain't that far.
Yeah.
Well, I know bodybuilders and all. I know they have to have a strict diet. Have you been adhering to something like that?
Let's put it this way. I've been trying. Actually, I've been doing pretty good with it. I've still got some work to do on my midsection.
A lot of people have that.
Yeah. Well,
your daddy got that.
Yeah, but I'm talking a little bit different. But yeah, we tend to get on a pretty strict diet, and the closer it gets to a show, the worse it gets.
Yeah.
So.
He has quite a regimen he has to go through.
Yeah.
All the different leg lifts and everything. He brought his book, but we don't have time to go through all that. But you got it's lots of repetition, and it takes a lot of self-discipline. I don't have it.
Yeah, most people don't. Yeah.
And he's doing real well considering where he came from when he was born with cerebral palsy. He has done wonderful. Kerry graduated from Florida State in '91.
No, that was high school.
That was high school, okay.
96.
96. I'm trying to remember birthdays and everything else for he and his sister. But I'm proud of him. He's done really, really well. And when I talked to his boss down there, they say he does a good job at the property appraiser, so I'm happy.
Oh, that's great.
And I'm proud of him.
That's great. Hey, we're going to take a final break and come right back. All right, welcome back to the show. We appreciate y'all being here with us on a Monday morning. Got our guest, Captain Rick Cordy and son, Kerry Cordy, with us. But first, let's look at our fish and game forecast for today, brought to us by Mark Coward of Edgewater Beach Realty. Mark's number is 832-6000. Our time this morning from 9:22 to 11:22. We have spring break. That'll be a great time to take off. And then this evening from 9:51 to 11:51. Right there, those two-hour blocks and all predicated by the motion of the moon and the different things going on in our area. So one of the things too, don't forget on Thursday night this week at Northside Baptist Church right here in town, Rick and Bubba show. Rick's going to be there as a guest speaker. It'll be a wild game cookout. But what they do a big shrimp boil. So call that Northside Baptist and get some tickets. Tickets on $10, and it's a great group of guys that get together. That's going to be this Thursday, okay? So don't forget that. And then C&G Sporting Goods Big Turkey, Big Gobbler contest is starting this weekend, and I'm going to have a guest coming on Wednesday show, special guest coming on about turkey hunting. So all kind of exciting things coming here on Panhandle Outdoors. But let's get back to you want to do some trophies here now, Kerry?
Yeah, 5 of them.
Well, tell us a little bit about it. Start on the left or right. That one on the far left over there.
The far one is my very first one.
Okay.
That's the first place. The second one is my only second place trophy. It may be a little bit hard to see, baby.
Well, that made it a little bit smaller for you, so I guess that's second place.
Yeah. The third one is my biggest one, and that's my second first place trophy I ever got. And of course, the fourth and fifth are
both first place.
Both first place.
Well,
he's done well.
That's a nice collection. Now, how long have you been doing this?
I've been doing this since look on the
2012.
2012.
Well, you basically just started. I mean,
and I've got 2 more contests this year. I've got one April 11th in Pensacola. That's the one that's scored the second place
Let's go
trophy
back and win
a
it.
couple years
Yeah.
ago. And then the second one I've got right here in Panama City at the Edgewater Beach Resort on May 16th.
All right. Well, that's good stuff. Do you get any time? I know you spend a lot of your time training. Do you ever get a chance to go out in a boat any, or?
No, I'm very rarely do. I'm more of a land
Land guy.
Yeah, land lover.
Yeah.
But occasionally I'll go out.
He used to go out with friends sailing, and of course he went out with me when he was younger. But
Yeah.
between working and doing what he does, and I think, are you still doing the round table?
No, that went under
They used to be
3
Civil
or
War
4
round
years
tables.
ago.
And,
And they had to disband it. They
Yeah.
weren't getting enough interest, which is a shame, but
Yeah. What kind of advice would you give all our viewers about working out, and what would you want to tell them to do and all, and eating
Well,
right? How important?
it's hard. But there's a difference between regular dieting, as in I want to lose a few pounds, and doing what I do, which is getting literally in stage shape. The dieting is just, many people would think it would be the same thing, but actually the dieting is light years apart.
Okay.
Light years.
Well, that's really good. We're so proud to have you on the show, and what an inspiration you are. We appreciate you coming on the show. Appreciate you doing this and all. And we all have obstacles in life, and Kerry's had a big one, and look what's happened to him. Good job, young man.
Thank you.
Rick, as always, thank you for coming on the show.
You're welcome.
And folks, as always, thank y'all for watching our show. We appreciate the viewership. These are real people doing real things here in the Florida Panhandle. So y'all do something good for someone else today. Have a great day, and God bless.
Thanks for joining us for Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors features hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.